It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 5th day of January 2021. Most of my regular guys are not expecting a broadcast today. Of course, it's the live broadcast at 11 o'clock has been canceled due to the fact that I'm going to be undergoing a chemo treatment right then or shortly thereafter. But anyway, I did have a couple things I wanted to get on the air via the video since I will not be here for my live broadcast at 11. And hence, that's why we are here. Couple quick things to touch on before I continue on with the couple stories today. One, I missed it on Saturday during the live broadcast, but my friend Jason up there in Pittsburgh, Jason Garland, I thank you for the donation you made to this channel. As always, folks, that's deeply appreciated. I've got a lot of new viewers, not necessarily because of our travel and cruise industry news and my cruise and travel stuff, but because of the prostate cancer journey that I'm going through and making very public. So we picked up a lot of new folks. I generally do not like to talk about this, folks, but yes, I would appreciate you subscribing to this channel and following all that we do here, whether it's travel and cruise industry news on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or various videos about the travel and cruise industry. My blog, which I am leaning heavily toward accessible travel, and I make posts on that regularly. And of course, my journey with the prostate cancer. So if you are new, we appreciate you subscribing. There's a little bell notification that tells you when I go live or when I have a new video up. There's also a link which normally is in the chat box, and because I'm not live today, the chat box isn't going. You can always add comments later on, but if you go to the description, there'll be a link to my PayPal account. If you would like to make a donation, I find that is much more in my favor going that way as opposed to doing super chats, so that kind of thing, where YouTube rightly takes a healthy percentage, somewhere around 40% of the money for fees and so forth. So that actually helps the channel more. So if you ever are in mind to make a donation to help keep this silliness going, we'd always appreciate that. So the main story today, because it is sort of personal to me, has to do with one of the old history-making names, the Carnival Tropicale. Another former Carnival cruise ship arrived at the scrapyard this week, bringing an end to the journey of what was once the Tropicale. I sailed on the Tropicale twice. First in 1982, when she was pretty close to brand new. I guess she'd been sailing a couple months when I was on it out of Los Angeles. And then I sailed on her again out of New Orleans, and I don't remember the date, but it was probably in the early 90s, 92-ish, somewhere along in there. But anyway, that was my experience personally with the Tropicale. Also, the Tropicale, the bar right adjacent to the casino, became known on lots of Carnival ships as Chillie's Bar. That was the nickname of that bar for years because of some of my exploits with groups and so forth. And that was the main meeting place, was at Chillie's Bar on the Tropicale and other Carnival ships. If the name doesn't sound that familiar, it's probably because the ship hasn't been part of the Carnival fleet since 2000. After its time with Carnival Cruise Line, it was transferred to Costa, P&O Australia, Pullmantur, and ended up with Peace Boat, which was a division of Carnival for a while. And then eventually it was sold by the company. That said, the Tropicale holds a very special place in a lot of the hearts of people like me that were primarily at least early in their cruising career, Carnival guys, Carnival men and women. And I've been a Carnival guy most of my, 40 some years of sailing. But the special place in the history is because the Tropicale was the first ship with the instantly recognizable whale tail funnel that makes Carnival cruise ships easy to spot worldwide. This was the idea of the legendary Carnival designer Joe Farkas. Over the years, the Tropicale has been renamed the Costa Tropicale, the Pacific Star, the Ocean Dream, and finally the Dream. She was sold for scrap and beached this week in Alang, India. So rest in peace to one of the fabulous old Carnival ships. Now, along those same lines, one of the oldest cruise ships in the world has been designated to be scrapped. The storied history of more than 55 years sailing the world's oceans comes to a sad end as the former cruise and maritime voyages liner MS Marco Polo has set a course for the same shipyards in Alang, India. She was a fan favorite cruise and maritime voyages, catering mostly to the UK market, focusing on an older, mature crowd that enjoyed indulging in the classic cruise ship setup. While the line had steadily climbed base for many years, it was one of the first victims to the pandemic. Marco Polo was sold at auction in October of 2020 as part of CMV's administration phase for only US $2,770,000. As recently as November 2020, there was still hope for the vessel as she was offered for charter by Offshore Solutions Unlimited. She's now been taken off that website, and according to Cruise and Harbor News, and this came from them yesterday, folks, has been designated to be scrapped. So that's a sad ending to two extraordinarily popular ships in the world of cruising. And there's been so much of that lately, it's just really sad. All right, I'm going to end today, guys, on a positive note. The Carnival Mardi Gras, after a technical stop in Rotterdam, is in Barcelona this morning. She got there yesterday, I think it was. But she's in Barcelona preparing to sail transatlantic 10-day sailing with no passengers to her home base of Port Canaveral, Florida. The ship's new maiden voyage is currently planned. Notice that's currently planned to sail on April 24th, 2021. And of course, that's been postponed ad nauseum, just over and over and over and over and over again with all the pandemic changes. But currently, if she gets all of her approvals and so forth from the CDC, and if numbers start coming down in Florida and elsewhere around this country so people can get to the Mardi Gras, she's going to sail on April 24th on a 7-day Eastern Caribbean itinerary, which visits San Juan, Amber Cove, and Grand Turk. So one positive note after a couple of negatives here today. Sorry about that. As usual, folks, my technical skills suck. So that's it for this morning. I'm off to go do some chemo, which I will be reporting on later today. My weekly journey of with the pandemic cancer, which will actually be week 11. I'm going to do probably some clips from the, I call it the chemo lounge this morning, and then put it together as a video and get it posted. either video or live when I get home this afternoon, depending on how I come out of this. I will be back as planned, now planning folks, Thursday for Travel and Cruise Industry News live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the caveat of depending how I come out of chemo and how much side effects I have. But I'm planning currently to be back at regularly scheduled time on Thursday. And again, folks, thank you for being with me today. This replaces, of course, the live broadcast at 11 o'clock today that's canceled because of my chemo treatment, which actually starts at noon, but I have to be there before noon. So that takes away my 11 a.m. live time. So that's it for today. As always, guys, thanks for being with me. As if all goes well, I'll see you sometime on the prostate cancer report, and then live for Travel and Cruise Industry News Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys have a great day.
Thank you for watching today's Travel and Cruise Industry News. Join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for another episode. Travel and Cruise Industry News is a production of Chillie's Cruises.